guys, thanks for tuning in today. We got a special guest today in the office, and I'll give you a little hint. See this little duck? We got a special guest from Aflac. Got my man Ward Garrett with us. How we doing, Ward?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing awesome, man. Thanks for coming out.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys. And fully transparent, one of the reasons you're here is you are one of our carrier sponsors. You help sponsor a convention. That's a big deal for us, Ward, because for so long, we've really tried to keep the cost minimal there. We didn't charge age. This year will be the first year we actually do have a price for the ticket. But with how, you were at our event, and this is a massive event, so it really helps to have as many carrier sponsors as we possibly can. So we appreciate you guys, playing ball now with us. So here we are. I know you have some fun stuff to talk about, so I'm really just going to turn this over to you and let you kind of run through. Aflac, like I said, has been a great partner with us. And I was joking when you were here, we're like, do you even bring any ducks? And you did bring some ducks. So
absolutely.
We'll just have – I don't know if you guys can hear that, but these are great. So, but I appreciate you coming up. So if you want to start going through what you have, I know products are great. The final expense has been phenomenal. But, talk to us a little bit about the brand specifically. It's a well-known name, obviously. Why is that a big deal for our agents?
Well, I think that's probably the one thing. There are a lot of carriers out there in FE, a lot of great carriers with great products. We feel like there's a couple of things about us that set us apart from everybody else, and it really starts with the brand.
Yeah.
So in adults over age 45, our brand recognition is usually between 90 and 94%.
Wow.
So that means when an agent walks in to meet with a customer, 19 out of 20 of them have already heard our name. They already know who we are before you ever even walk in the door.
Yeah.
And a lot of carriers out there, we know them because we're in the insurance industry, and the agents know who they are, but the customers don't.
Correct.
And so that means the agent's has to spend some time explaining who the carrier is, trying to win their confidence on why they should put their trust in that carrier, and all that kind of goes away with us. So right off the bat, you saved yourself some time, and however long that takes an agent, whether it's 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or whatever, to talk about the carrier. If it's somebody that person hadn't heard of, all that goes away with us. So right off the bat, they know who we are. Yeah. And then the other thing is, you saw with our little friend the duck there. Yeah. You say Aflac, and people are going to smile. They might even quack at you.
Yeah, exactly. How often does that happen? You say Aflac and someone quacks.
Absolutely. Probably at least 2 or 3 times out of 10. Yeah,
I bet
they're going to quack at you. So, so right off the bat, you not only they know who we are, but now you've really lightened the mood and set up the stage for a great conversation with that person. It's you put them at ease. It's very relaxed, atmosphere. So, which is pretty powerful if you think about it. You can say one word, and all of a sudden, everybody's laughing and smiling, and now you're set up for a good conversation.
Right, absolutely.
And then the agent can basically barter on our brand for credibility, for his own credibility. Yeah. So we all know, again, that agents can get appointed with any carrier they want. We know that, but the consumer doesn't necessarily know that. And so for an agent to say, I represent Aflac, or I've got Aflac in my portfolio, now, again, our brand is extending to the agent and giving them credibility as well. Sure. So that's a lot right off the bat, just from saying the word Aflac. Yeah. You speed up your presentation, which hopefully means you can do more presentations in a day. Yep. You've set the mood for a great conversation, and you've established credibility yourself, all from just saying the word Aflac and introducing our brand. Right.
And that's a huge part of it, right? The brand awareness, number one. And it's funny you say like 94%. I don't know that I've met anyone that doesn't know. I'm like, I was surprised. How's it not 100? Like, who does not know who Aflac is?
I met a guy last week who said he'd never heard of Aflac. Somebody brought him over to our booth. Yeah. I was at a different conference. He goes, I finally found somebody that doesn't know Aflac. Yeah. And he was from Canada, though, which makes sense because we're advertising in Canada.
I was saying, he's from here, he's lying.
I know. I think so, too. I've never met the person that doesn't. So,
but that's half the battle, right? Where, like, you got to have you also have to have a good product. Right. And that's a big piece with us when we, look in. Because you imagine, we've been around for over 10 years. We do a lot of volume. We get calls all the time from carriers, some that are well-known, some that are not. And everyone's trying to, sell our product. A lot of times the comp doesn't make sense, but then a lot of times the product just doesn't make sense. You have to have a good product to back it up, because the brand awareness is only going to get you like your foot in the door. Right. But if the product doesn't make sense, then, it's a done deal, right? Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about the final expense product and why that's so huge.
So, first of all, when we decided to get in final expense at Aflac, we knew that was a new area for us. We hadn't done that before. So we wanted to partner with somebody that was already in the space. So we partnered with Aetna. Okay. And so the product is absolutely an Aflac product. We're the carrier. It's on our paper. But we partner with them to do all the back office. So if you've ever written a Sendo or the Aetna FE plan, it's the same e-app process that I continue to hear rave reviews about from agents about how easy that is. Same underwriting, which they enhanced last year with now the real-time decision underwriting. So now you're going to get a point-of-sale decision about 98% of the time.
Wow.
So you'll get a yes or no. I had an agent one time tell me I'd rather get a no than a maybe. I don't know what to do with a maybe.
Absolutely. And
so we took that to heart, and the Aetna team worked real hard to come up with a way where now you get a yes or no about 2/3 of the time, and then the other third, they ask you a couple additional questions that allows them. All the maybes can now be resolved by a couple of extra questions. Good. And so now you get an answer right there.
Yeah. That's so big, Ward, because you mentioned earlier you can be contracted with several carriers, and most of our agents are. So, if they're leading with Aflac and you get a maybe, then you're kind of in limbo. You're
right.
Like, if we can't go Aflac, we'd love to, but then now we know we can't. Then we have other products, and it's usually it's a risk factor that you guys are not willing to take. There's other carriers that do, but then you can shift over. But I agree. It's the old saying, more is lost in indecision and wrong decision. Kind of same thing with the policies. Like, if your client's in limbo waiting, you have a short period of time to be able to help this client, right? If I got to go back 3 or 4 times and get another paper signed, they're going to do another check, we're going to get some doctor's rep. A lot of times your client, they don't have the patience for that.
They don't.
They go, forget about it.
Not in this day and age when things are so easy to do. Yeah,
yep. Absolutely. Yeah. So what else on the product, Ward?
So up to 50,000 face amount.
Yeah.
Have preferred standard modified pricing. The modified has return of premium for 2 years.
Okay.
Ages are 45 to 80.
Got it.
So those are kind of the basics.
Yeah. The standard is that a full death benefit and just like a slightly higher premium?
Yeah. Preferred, if you use AC underwriting, you get a preferred rate.
Got it.
If you got a couple of hiccups, you go standard, and that's full face amount. And then modified is still full amount for accident.
Got it.
But if it's other than accidental death, in the first 2 years, you get your premium back with interest. But after 2 years, then it goes to the full face amount.
Wow. So we talked about 2 things: brand awareness, the product, right? Another big focus of ours lately has been quality of business, right? Because if I write 10 cases, Ward, and 8 fall off the books, I wrote 2 cases.
Right.
I wrote X amount, but how many stayed on the books? And they could fall off the books for a multitude of reasons. One, maybe the product's too expensive. Maybe you didn't write the right product. Maybe someone came in and offered them something better, different, who knows what. But quality of business is a big piece. What is the quality from Family First Life standpoint?
Yeah.
What is the quality? Like you gave me a stat before we started here. Yeah. What was that?
So at the convention this year, I had an agent come up to me and he said, "Hey man, I love your product, and I have other agents telling me, hey man, you could make more comp on another product.
Yeah.
But I write yours, and they make fun of me, and they said, why do you do that? And he said, because it sticks.
Yeah.
So I decided to look him up. So I looked up, and of all the business he wrote that got to active premium paying status, 89% are still in the books.
Wow.
And I thought, okay, well, maybe he's an anomaly.
Right.
So I decided, well, let's look at the top dog. So our top producer within FFL for Aflac is Harold Durana.
Harold Durana, love Harold. Great job, Harold.
So he's number 1.
Yeah.
84%.
Wow.
So going back to 2022 when we first launched,
all
the policies he written that got to active premium paying status, 84% are still in the books.
Wow.
And then I thought, you know what? Let me see if those guys, they may be excellent agents, and they're probably pulling up the curve or whatever. Let me look at the whole thing. So I looked at all of FFL. So every FFL agent that's written a policy since 2022. Yeah. Of all the ones that got to active premium paying status, 79% are still in the books.
Wow. That's strong.
So, again, the brand, but the combination of brand and value is pricing. So, again, our intent was not to be the highest comp plans. There are a lot of high comp plans out there. Sure. And if that's what you want, that's great. Go for it.
Absolutely.
But having lower comp allows us to have a lower price. So we're very competitive with the other brands in space. So our combination of brand and price, we feel like will allows you to close more, and it's going to stick. And now the numbers are beginning to show that as well.
Yeah. And the thing is, where there's enough business to go around. A lot of carriers come up here and they want everything. It's like, you don't want everything. Trust me. Ask them. You do not want everything. We do so much. You just want a piece. Yeah. But there's enough out there, and there's so many. Our clients are so diverse. So not everyone's going to fit into the same bucket. So that's why it's nice to have, a handful of carriers to go through, and lead with wherever you're going to lead to. But that's always not going to work out. So have a backup, have another option. And there are some clients you're going to meet with that are going to be chasing price. Not all of them.
Yeah.
But it's always nice to have a product where when you know that's the circumstance, then, hey, I can lead with this, you know. And the fact that it sticks, I mean, that's a huge piece. Like I said, you're writing 10 and 8 are falling off the books, then you wrote 2. And there, it's a lot deeper than just, okay, your policy's canceled and you're not getting paid. Those are also clients that are now not covered.
Yeah.
And I believe we got one shot in the house. A lot of time, you go out there once, client deals with the agent, maybe they have a great experience, maybe they don't. The odds that they're going to have someone else come back in, I think that that percentage drops down every single time. And if we have the right products, we can do right by the clients the first time we're in the house. Mm-hmm. And to your point, it will stick. And then you build a client for life.
Right.
You know. Anything else you want to touch on as far as Aflac goes, Ward?
Well, there's one other advantage that we've got that nobody else has, at least to the extent we do, and that's because the kind of the halo effect of our core business. So we've been writing voluntary plans at the work site for over 65 years.
Okay.
So over the years, we've insured tens of millions of Americans, and today we've got our products offered at the work site for hundreds of thousands of U.S. businesses. So again, when you talk to somebody about Aflac, chances are they may have had one of our accident or critical illness plans in the past, or they know somebody that did.
Yeah.
And so, and if they filed a claim, we are adamant about being excellent in paying claims. And so we have great track record and great reputation when it comes to claims payment, because we know as great as our friend the duck is, it doesn't get better than somebody raving about how well you paid their claim.
Exactly.
So if they had our plan, or they know somebody did our plan, especially if they've filed a claim, they've already got a great perception of Aflac, again, before you ever even walk in the door.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, believe it or not, I had an Aflac plan in a different life years ago. I was in construction, and we had a guy come in and walk through all the benefits, and for what we got and the price, this is a no-brainer. And we had a guy who got hurt on the job site and filed a claim, got paid out, the whole deal. So I saw it firsthand many moons ago. But great product. So I really appreciate you doing this. Appreciate you taking the time to come out here. Everyone can see you at convention next year, I would imagine.
Yes, I'll be there. I'll also be on the agent trip this
You're
fall
on the cruise?
We're on the cruise.
Nice. That's right. You guys are cruise sponsor as well. So, so qualify for the cruise so you can hang out with Ward and the Aflac crew.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you coming up, Ward. Really do. And appreciate everything you guys do for us. Guys, if you're not contracted with Aflac, get contracted now. It's a great final expense product, great to have to your portfolio, and the points will count towards your cruise qualification. So there you go.
All right.
But appreciate you. Appreciate Aflac. Guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.